Hi friends, as May 2026 CA Foundation exams are approaching near, Institute every time issues an RTP before conducting the examinations. तो अब हम डिस्कस करेंगे आरटीपी के क्वेश्चंस जो हर चैप्टर के एक एक क्वेश्चन दिए होते हैं. सिर्फ 60 डेज रह गए. कितने दिन रह गए? 60 डेज, 60 दिन रह गए. तो लेट्स डिस्कस द आरटीपी क्वेश्चंस व्हिच हैज बीन इश्यूड बाय द इंस्टीट्यूट. हर चैप्टर का एक एक क्वेश्चन. वील हैव अ रन थ्रू, वी हैव अ रिकैप, वील हैव अ डिस्कशन ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी टॉपिक एंड द कॉन्सेप्ट्स व्हिच आर इंपॉर्टेंट व्हाइल गोइंग टू द चैप्टर वाइज सम्स. लेट्स स्टार्ट विद क्वेश्चन नंबर 3A व्हिच इज ऑफ जर्नल. बहुत ही सिंपल चैप्टर, लेकिन ये पूछते ही है तो इस पे ध्यान देते. यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू पास नेसेसरी जर्नल एंट्रीज इन द बुक्स ऑफ बत्रा. तो हम लोग कौन है? सब लोग बत्रा. जर्नल ऑफ बत्रा. एम्प्लॉइज हैड टेकन स्टॉक वर 25,000, कॉस्ट प्राइस 22,500. मतलब उस गुड्स का कॉस्ट प्राइस 22,500, लेकिन उसका सेलिंग प्राइस या मार्केट प्राइस कितना है? 25,000 ऑन द ईव ऑफ दीपावली. हर साल दिवाली आती है, एम्प्लॉय से गुड्स विड्रॉ कर लिए बिजनेस में से. घर में जरूरत होती है, काम होता है, खुश करना होता है लोगों को, कुछ सरप्राइज देने होते हैं, तो उसके लिए एम्प्लॉइज गुड्स विड्रॉ करके गए जिसका कॉस्ट प्राइस 22,500, लेकिन उसका सेलिंग प्राइस कितना था? 25,000. एंड द सेम वाज डिडक्टेड फ्रॉम देयर सैलरीज इन द सब्सिक्वेंट मंथ. लेकिन एम्प्लॉइज के होप पे पानी फिरवा दिया एम्प्लॉयर ने. एम्प्लॉयर ने क्या बोला? आप दिवाली के ओकेजन पे लेके गए, नो प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन सब्सिक्वेंट मतलब मंथ, मतलब आने वाले मंथ में उनके पगार से ये अमाउंट डिडक्ट किया गया है. तो पगार मतलब सैलरी, तो क्या जर्नल एंट्री होनी चाहिए? सैलरी अकाउंट डेबिट. और बिजनेस में से कुछ आ रहे हैं कि जा रहे, तो परचेज नॉर्मली डेबिट होता है, अब जा रहे तो परचेज को क्रेडिट करेंगे. तो व्हाट विल बी द जर्नल एंट्री? सैलरी अकाउंट डेबिट टू परचेज. लेट्स चेक द आंसर. हियर इट इज सैलरी अकाउंट डेबिट टू परचेज. आई होप इट इज क्लियर. नेक्स्ट, सेकेंड ट्रांजेक्शन. इसको मैं क्लियर करता हूं और आगे बढ़ते हैं. सेकेंड ट्रांजेक्शन, वन डन. सेकेंड, सोल्ड गुड्स टू मानिक costing 20,000. Cost price is 20,000 at 20% above cost. 20,000 के गुड्स 25% एड अप करके बेचे हुए, मतलब सेलिंग प्राइस कैलकुलेट करना होगा. तो 20,000 का 25% दैट कम्स टू 25,000 लेस 10% ट्रेड डिस्काउंट. मतलब 20,000 की कॉस्ट प्राइस थी, उसमें 25% एड अप किया, सो वी गॉट अ फिगर ऑफ 25,000 लेस 10% ट्रेड डिस्काउंट. सो द फाइनल अमाउंट कम्स टू 22,500 plus CGST and SGST 6% each. CGST and SGST 6% each. मतलब 6% सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट टैक्स लगाएगा, 6% स्टेट गवर्नमेंट टैक्स लगाएगा, एंड कैश डिस्काउंट ऑफ 5%. ओके, बहुत सारी चीजें. कॉस्ट प्राइस 20,000, उसमें 20%, 20,000 उसमें 25% ऐड किया तो 25,000 सेलिंग प्राइस है, उसमें 10,000 लेस किया ट्रेड डिस्काउंट तो 22,500 प्लस 12% जीएसटी ऐड करेंगे तो फाइनल अमाउंट कम्स टू 25,200. फाइनल अमाउंट कम्स टू 25,200 एंड कैश डिस्काउंट हाउ मच गिवन? 5%. Manik did not avail cash discount. अब पूरे ट्रांजेक्शन की समरी वी विल रिवाइज इट. सो गुड्स कॉस्टिंग 20,000 which are sold at 25% above cost, which is subject to 10% trade discount and which is subject to 6% CGST and 6% SGST each, means 12% GST add on होगा. So value we got is 25,200 and over and above that the person who is buying the goods is eligible for 5% कैश डिस्काउंट. अगर मानिक हम लोग को ऑन द स्पॉट पैसे देगा तो उसको 5% कैश डिस्काउंट दे देगा. लेकिन लास्ट लाइन क्या बोल रहा है? मानिक डिड नॉट अवेल कैश डिस्काउंट. सो प्लीज इग्नोर दिस कैश डिस्काउंट पॉइंट. Please ignore this cash discount point. So now my simple point is 20,000 cost price plus 25% profit, which comes to 25,000 less 10% trade discount, which comes to 22,500, and straight away I add 12% GST. 25,200 is the amount of the goods which is sold to Manik. Manik को 25,200 के goods बेचे गए. Now whenever we sell goods and when we charge GST, we collect GST from customers. So we collect the total amount, that is 25,200. Lekin 25,200 includes the selling price as well as the GST amount. Selling price belongs to us, but the GST amount which we collect does not belong to us, it belongs to government. So whenever we sell the goods, we record the GST in the name of output GST, and whenever we purchase the goods, we record in the name of input GST. अभी बेचा है कि खरीदा है? बेचा है, तो we will record the GST in the name of output GST, because the GST which has been collected will be paid to the government. So what should be the entry? Let's take Manik account debit to sales account to output CGST to output SGST. Now Manik will be 25,200 as I told you, which is 20,000 plus 25% less 10% trade discount and plus 12% GST. Okay, 25,200. Now, what will be the sales value? 20,000 plus 25%. 25,000 minus 10%. 22,500 will be the sales value, and 6% GST will be how much? 1350. So 22,500 into 6%, 1350 and 1350. I hope this transaction is very clear. Let's go for the next transaction. Okay. Important one, you can mark this for your reference. Goods costing 6,000, whose sale price is 8,000. The cost price is 6,000, selling price is 8,000. Distributed as free samples. So why we distribute as free samples? हम free samples क्यों बांटते हैं? Because to do advertisement. So advertisement account debit. Goods are coming out of the business or coming in the business. So we'll say going out of the business. So advertisement account debit to purchase. Let's see. Here it is. Advertisement account debit to purchase. Sales promotion, you can write advertisement also. Both are correct. Let's go for the next transaction. Received commission 10,000, half of which does not relate of the current year. So we received a commission of 10,000, half does not relate to current year and is received in advance. So what they are trying to say, business has received commission of 10,000, 10,000 रुपए का कमीशन मिला, हाफ करंट ईयर का है, हाफ करंट ईयर का नहीं है. तो जो करंट ईयर का नहीं है वो एडवांस है, उसको प्री रिसीव्ड भी बोलते हैं. तो व्हाट शुड बी द एंट्री? Whatever we got, bank account debit to commission account because it is my income, and to pre-received commission because it is received in advance. Let's see this. Here it is. Bank account debit to commission, and you can write like this, a combined entry to prepaid, or you can write to pre-received commission. So 10,000, 5,000 and 5,000. 50% of the current year and 50% belonging to the next year. You can write prepaid commission, but better to write pre-received commission. Now, this is done, and we have the last transaction of journal. Purchase second-hand machinery from Swayam Industries for 4 lakh. So we purchase machinery from Swayam Industries for 4 lakh rupees plus CGST and SGST 4% each. Guys, 4 lakh machinery and 4% GST. So can I say 8%? So the machinery's value will be 4 lakh plus 8% GST. Mind my words, मैं GST बोल रहा हूँ. If I talk individual, it is 4% CGST and 4% SGST. Sum total is 8%. So 4,32,000 में मशीनरी आया हमारे पास स्वयं के पास से. Paid 1 lakh immediately by check. 1 lakh on the spot we paid, and balance to be paid after 2 months. So can I say this is a partly cash transaction and partly credit transaction? So what did we purchase, guys? Machinery. So machinery account debit to Swayam Industries to bank account, and since we purchased, GST we charged. GST was charged to us. So input or output? Input or output? Input. We will take the benefit of the GST. So guys, what should be the entry? Machinery account debit, input CGST account debit, input SGST account debit to bank and to Swayam Industries. Now, what is the machinery's value? 4 lakh. 4 lakh into 4%, 16,000 CGST, 16,000 SGST. Out of that, 1 lakh paid through check, and this is the balancing figure which is to be paid after 2 months. I hope it is clear. Guys, you remember one thing, whenever we purchase any goods and GST is charged, means we are paying GST to the opposite party. So that benefit will be available to us. So whenever we do purchase, input GST. Whenever we sell, we collect GST. So output GST. I hope it is clear. Let's go for the second part of the question, that is 3B, which is classify the following expenditures as capital or revenue expenditure. Classify the following expenditures as capital or revenue expenditures. Now, we have to just classify traveling expenses of directors for trips abroad for purchase of capital assets. अब directors ने traveling किया for purchasing new assets. So that is one time expenditure or regular expenditure? बच्चे लोग क्या है, one time के regular? One time. So it is a capital expenditure. Let's check, guys. They have given the answers here. Yeah, capital expenditure. Next, guys. Drainage for new equipment. So we purchase one new equipment and drainage system has been installed or we have constructed, whatever you can say. So drainage system तो एक ही बार install करते हैं. This is also capital expenditure, guys. Here it is. Next, please. Amount paid for removal of stock to a new site. Stock निकाला और नई साइट पे ट्रांसफर किया. तो स्टॉक निकाल के दूसरी साइड पे डाल रहे, तो स्टॉक तो डे टू डे एक्टिविटी है. एंड व्हाई वी आर रिमूविंग स्टॉक फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अ न्यू साइट? बिकॉज वी हैव इंस्टॉल्ड अ फैक्ट्री टू अ न्यू लोकेशन, बट स्टॉक तो वही है. तो दिस इज रेगुलर एक्टिविटी ऑफ द बिजनेस. सो दिस इज अ रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर. ओके, यहाँ पे आपको फोकस करना है मेरे एक्सप्लेनेशंस पे. कॉस्ट ऑफ रिपेयर्स ऑन सेकेंड हैंड कार परचेज. हमने एक सेकेंड हैंड कार परचेज की, उस पर रिपेयरिंग वर्क किया टू ब्रिंग इट इनटू वर्किंग कंडीशन. गाइस, यहाँ पे लोग बहुत कंफ्यूज करते हैं, प्लीज फोकस. वी डिड रिपेयरिंग वर्क ऑन सेकेंड हैंड कार परचेस. पब्लिक क्या पढ़ती है, खाली गाड़ी परचेस किया. सर गाड़ी तो रोज थोड़ी खरीदते, लेकिन वो खर्चा किसके लिए किया? व्हाई वी हैव डन रिपेयरिंग वर्क? टू मेंटेन द कार इन द वर्किंग कंडीशन, ताकि गाड़ी चल सके. सो दिस एक्सपेंडिचर हैज बीन इनकर्ड टू maintain the car in a running condition. So this is a revenue expenditure, not a capital. So this is a capital expenditure they've given. Sorry, I told revenue, but they are saying capital. Why capital? Because second hand car purchased. So इन्होंने यहाँ पे ये इंटरप्रेट किया कि गाड़ी एक ही बार खरीदी है, उस पर खर्चा किया, तो वो कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर होगा फर्स्ट टाइम. सब्सिक्वेंटली अगर रिपेयरिंग वर्क करते हैं टू मेंटेन इन वर्किंग कंडीशन, देन इट इज अ रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर. नेक्स्ट, कैरेज कॉस्ट ऑन रिप्लेसमेंट पार्ट. Carriage cost on replacement part for a piece of machinery. Now, we replaced one part of machinery and we incur transportation charges. Why do we replace parts? So that the machine works efficiently, so that the machine works efficiently, as well as not even efficiently than it works in the normal working condition. So this is a revenue expenditure, and here it is, revenue expenditure. I hope it is clear. पार्ट रिप्लेस किया तो पार्ट रिप्लेस करने पड़ते हैं बिकॉज मशीन हैज टू वर्क स्मूथली. सो इफ द रिप्लेसमेंट helps to work the machine in the normal condition, then revenue. But if the replacement of the part increases the efficiency of the machinery, then capital expenditure. So here it is just replacement of part of machinery, nothing anything else mentioned. And last, repainting of a delivery van. A delivery van we have repainted. Why we do the repainting? Because it has got rusting and everything. This repainting has been done to maintain the delivery van in a working condition. So it's a revenue expenditure, and here it is. That's it. Now we'll go to question number 4, guys. That is on subsidiary books. Let's go for subsidiary books, guys. 4A. From the following information, prepare purchase book of Messrs. Victory and Company who deals in eye care business. So we have to prepare a purchase book, and the businessman is dealing into eye care businesses. So first of all, what is purchase book? Purchase book records only and only credit transaction of goods. Any asset purchase, anything else purchase would not be recorded in the subsidiary book. So let's start. Purchase from Pink and Company on credit. Yes, so Pink and Company is a party's name and we have purchased on credit. What we have purchased? Let's take 10 pair of black sunglasses. Yes, is related to eyes at 800 per pair. So 10 into 800 gives me 8,000, and 5 pair of brown sunglasses at 900. So 500 into 5 into 900, that gives you 4,500 plus 8,000. 12,500 worth goods have been purchased on credit, which is subject to 10% trade discount. So that will the value of 11,250 will come in the books of accounts. Now, purchased computer from Glory Enterprise on credit. Guys, we are dealer of eye business. Means eye, हम आंख नहीं बेच रहे, आंख से रिलेटेड चीजें खरीद रहे और बेच रहे. तो यहाँ पे तो कंप्यूटर खरीदा गया. So this is an asset purchase, even though it is purchased on credit, but since an asset is purchased, it will not be recorded in the subsidiary book or in the purchase book. We have to give a note for the same, that since an asset is purchased, it will not be recorded in the subsidiary books. This transaction will be recorded in journal proper. Now, purchase from Blue and Company in cash. Finish in cash. We record only credit transaction in the books of accounts or in the subsidiary books. So this is a cash transaction. This will be recorded in the cash book. So no need to read this only, because this will be recorded in the cash book. Simple. Now we'll go to question number. 4A done. Now 4B, which is very important question, rectification of errors. And now for rectification of errors, I prepared some notes for you which you need to present in the exam rather than doing it directly. Past journal entries in the books of Mr. Dhuria to rectify the following errors detected during preparation of trial balance. So we have to rectify the errors when the trial balance was getting prepared of Mr. Dhuria. Let's start. Wages paid for construction of office building. Wages paid for construction of office building. My always there is an advice for you people. Whenever you solve rectification of errors, always read the sentence and find out the meaning. So यहाँ पे हमने wages पे किए किसके लिए? For construction of building, and which has been debited to wages account. So my policy of solving is always, those who watch my channel, those who follow me, those who have attended my lectures, they know how I solve rectification of errors. So what is my policy? I prepare 3 columns. Before I prepare the main journal, I prepare 3 columns. I'll show the demo how it looks like. फर्स्ट इज द करेक्ट एंट्री विच वी आर सपोज टू पास, मीन्स जो सही एंट्री होना चाहिए वो पहले पास करो. सो फर्स्ट विल पास द करेक्ट एंट्री, देन विल पास द रॉन्ग एंट्री, मतलब व्हाट रॉन्ग दे हैव डन, या क्या गलती उन्होंने की है, एंड देन विल रिवर्स द रॉन्ग एंट्री. So this is the procedure before going into the final journal entry. I hope this is very clear. So I'll repeat one more time. First we'll prepare a working note which will consist of three parts. First will be the correct entry which we are supposed to pass, जो हमको पास करनी चाहिए. Then we'll pass the wrong entry, means whatever wrong they have done, मतलब जो गलत entry है वो करना है. And then the reversal of the wrong entry. So guys, listen to me very carefully. Before passing the main journal entry, one working note will prepare which will consist of three parts. First will pass the correct entry, मतलब जो सही entry हो pass करो. Second, the wrong entry which they have passed, means remember this second point which I am saying, गलत एंट्री पास करनी है लेकिन जो सही किया उसको एज इट इज रखो. सो रिमेंबर द स्टेप्स वेरी प्रॉपरली. आई एम रिपीटिंग फॉर द लास्ट टाइम. फर्स्ट स्टेप, पास द करेक्ट एंट्री, जो सही एंट्री वो पास करो. सेकंड स्टेप, जो गलत एंट्री किया है वो पास करो, मतलब द रॉन्ग एंट्री विच दे हैव पास्ड, प्लीज पास दैट एंट्री बट कीप द करेक्ट थिंग एज इट इज. व्हाट इज दिस करेक्ट थिंग एज इट इज, मतलब जो गलत हुआ है उसको गलत रखो करो, और जो सही हुआ हो उसको एज इट इज रखो. मींस व्हाट एवर रॉन्ग दे हैव डन, कीप एज इट इज एंड कीप द करेक्ट थिंग एज इट इज. मतलब जो गलती से डेबिट या क्रेडिट हुआ उसको करो, एंड करेक्ट जो पोस्टिंग हुआ उसको एज इट इज रखो, एंड देन रिवर्स इट. Now you will better understand this with an example. So we have paid wages for construction of a building which was wrongly debited to wages account. Now let's check. Wages paid for construction of building debited to wages. Actually what should be the correct entry? Wages to cash or building to cash? The answer is building to cash. I have prepared for you guys here. Building to cash. Can you see this? Number one. What wrong did they do? Wages to cash. Second. Then reverse this. Cash to wages. And now, between reverse and correct, you should cancel out if something is getting cancelled out. Debit, credit, debit, credit. So let's see if anything is getting cancelled. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we have cash debit, we have cash credit getting cancelled. So what will be the final entry? Building account debit to wages account. Building account debit to wages account. Building gets constructed and it was not wages for purchase of goods, it was wages for construction of an asset. So wages got automatically credited and it got rectified. So what will be the final entry? Building account debit to wages account. Let's go for the next transaction, guys. This is how you are supposed to do. So मैंने इसमें क्या किया? Check here. First correct entry है पास, building to cash. Then I said जो wrong हुआ है वो करो. Wages account debit, that was a wrong thing done, and keep the correct thing as it is. Cash to as if it went out of the pocket, and then reverse the same entry. The wrong entry you have to reverse it, and then cut if anything gets cut. Cancel, cut, whatever. Second transaction, a purchase of goods from SEMA. So we have purchased goods from SEMA. So my first question to you, is this a cash transaction or credit transaction? Whenever the name of the party comes, it is a credit transaction amounting to 10,000 has been wrongly entered to the sales book. So we purchased goods from SEMA, whatever, and we entered the same in the sales book. Again, there is an error. So what will be the correct entry? Purchase account debit to SEMA. What is the wrong entry we did? Instead of showing purchase, we showed sales. So SEMA to sales. Then reverse it. Sales to SEMA. And then let's check whether anything gets cancelled. Nothing gets cancelled, guys. So sales account debit, purchase account debit to SEMA. So it will be, let's check the solution which they have done here. Here it is. See, purchase account debit 10,000, sales account debit 10,000, and to SEMA 20,000. SEMA got credited 2 times. Okay, next transaction, please. Now, third, sale of goods to Nikhil. We have sold goods to Nikhil at a list price of 2,40,000. List price means marked price, printed price, less 10% trade discount. So 2,40,000 less 10%, 2,16,000 is the answer. Out of the amount due, means 2,16,000 we are supposed to receive from Nikhil. 50% is received. 50% is received. So 2,16,000 divided by 2. So that comes to 1,08,000, of which 3/4 is received by check. 1,08,000 into 3 by 4, 81,000, and the balance amount is received in cash. So the story is like this. I'll repeat. We have sold goods to Nikhil worth 2,40,000, which is subject to 10% trade discount. Out of that, 50% is received. How it is received? They have given that 50% received, but how it is received? 3/4 is received in check, balance in cash, but we didn't read this CGST and SGST 6%. So I'll go again to the calculation part, guys. Okay, so I'll divide this transaction into two parts. First, we sold goods to Nikhil and we charge GST to him. So whenever we charge GST, Nikhil will pay GST to us. So it will be input GST or output, because we are collecting GST. So it doesn't belong to us, it belongs to government. So output GST. So what will be the entry for goods sold to Nikhil? I'll say Nikhil account debit to sales account to output CGST account to output SGST account. Let's check. Here it is. Nikhil account debit to sales to output CGST to output SGST. Now 2,40,000 was the amount. I'll write here guys for you. Less 10%. This comes to 2,16,000, which is subject to how much percent GST? 6%. Into 6%, can you do it? 12,960 and 12,960. Now, out of this amount, which I am supposed to receive from Nikhil, 241,920. Yes, that is the amount I am supposed to receive from Nikhil. 241,920. Out of that, 50% received and 50% not received. One second. Here, like this. 50% I'll say received and 50% I'll say credit. So 241,920 divided by 2. So 129,660 is my credit part. So obviously 129,660 will be my received part. Yes or no? Now out of the amount received, that is 129,660, 3/4 has been received through check. 3/4 through check. That comes to 9720. And 1/4 is through cash. So that comes to how much? 129,660 into 1 divided by 4. That is 3240. I hope it is clear. So basically, bank account debit 9720, cash account debit 3240. This is this and this. And who is the giver? Nikhil 129,660. I hope it is very, very clear. Let's go for the next transaction, guys. Goods. Cost price 15,000, selling price 16,000. Distributors free samples. Amount prospective customers were not recorded anywhere. So we have distributed goods as free samples, but it is nowhere recorded in the books of accounts. So there is a case of complete omission. So the entry will be advertisement account debit to purchase. Here it is. 15,000. Next transaction, guys. Okay. Now, this is a very important one. You can mark this important. A bill of exchange received from SSN company. So we have received a bill from SSN company for 10,000 and had been returned by the bank as dishonored. So we received a bill from SS company. We must have deposited that bill into the bank. Bank subsequently dishonored the bill. Bank subsequently dishonored the bill and had been credited to bank account and debited to bill receivable account. Wait. So we have drawn a bill on SSN company. We must have deposited the bill into the bank. Then only it got dishonored. Then only it got dishonored. And what entry he has done? He has credited bank account and debited bill receipt. Relax, very relaxed. My 3 steps. First step is pass the correct entry. This, what should be the correct entry that we have to pass? Bill receivable dishonored. So what should be the entry? We should again debit SSN company because we have to receive money from him. So and we should credit bank. Why? We are supposed to receive money from SSN company. हम लोग को SS के पास से वापस पैसे लेने होंगे क्योंकि वो जो बिल दिया तो वो बाउंस हो गया. So SS company account debit to who is the giver? Bank. So let's see this correct entry. Can you see this here? SSN company account debit to bank. What wrong entry they have done? Bill receivable account debit to bank. This is the correct entry. This is the wrong entry. Then reverse this. Bank account debit to bills receivable. So what gets cancelled? Bank. So what will be the final entry? SS company account debit to bills receivable. Let's check here. Here you can have it. And let's go for the last transaction, guys. Sorry, the second last transaction. A bill receivable of 2,500 was passed through bills payable book. Wow. So we were supposed to receive money in the name of bill receivable and we have shown as if it is a bills payable. And this bill was given by Hans. So basically we were supposed to receive from Hans and we have shown that it is payable to Hans. मतलब Hans से लेना था, ऐसा था actual transaction, लेकिन बताया कि Hans को देना है. So what is the correct entry we have to pass for bills receivable? Bills receivable account debit to Hans. I have done here, guys, for you. And what wrong did we pass? Hans to bills payable. And reverse that. Bills payable to Hans. Now, let's check whether anything gets cancelled. No. Bills payable debit, bills receivable debit to Hans account. Let's check. Bills payable debit, bills receivable debit to Hans account. In the last transaction for rectification of errors, Sushil has been issued a credit note. सबसे पहले समझ लेते हैं कि why we issue credit note and to whom credit note is issued. Credit note is issued by the businessman to the customer. Why credit note? मतलब हम एक चिट्ठी बना के देते कि आपके पैसे हमारे पास पड़े हैं या जमा है और your money lies with us, allowing rebate of 16,000. So we gave a credit note, and rebate means discount. Why we gave a credit note to Sushil? As goods supplied to him was found defective. So we must have sold goods to Sushil in the past. Sushil complained that sir, goods are not as per the quality mentioned. So with as a good perspective or to maintain relationship with customers, we issued a credit note. क्रेडिट नोट मतलब हमने सुशील को बोला कि आपके पैसे हमारे पास पड़े हैं, आप फ्यूचर में कोई भी गुड्स आके लेके जाना. So right now we are issuing a credit note. Credit note means we are supposed to deliver to him in the near future. So this is nothing but sales return का case. And CGST and SGST 4% each. Now here no wrong reverse correct entry will come because we have just issued a credit note and we have given a rebate. So what will be the entry? Here it is. Rebate account debit as it is sales return, but they have given the one rebate. Now मेरी बात सुनना, जब भी हम गुड्स सेल करते हैं तो हम जीएसटी कलेक्ट करते हैं. तो व्हाट वी डू, to output GST, to output CGST, to output SGST. But since now we have returned the goods, we have to reverse that out to output CGST, to output SGST, to output CGST debit and output SGST debit. मतलब जो टैक्स कलेक्ट किया था हमने निखिल भाई से when we sold goods, since they are returned by Nikhil and we have issued a credit note, वो GST रिवर्स हुए, उतनी लायबिलिटी हमारी कम हो जाएगी. So rebate account debit, output CGST account debit, output SGST account debit to Sushil. Let's check the amounts. 16,000. So here it is 16,000 and what was the percentage? 4%. 640, 640 and 17 280. So this was two questions of RTP. That was question number 3A, which was journal entry, question number 3B, which was capital revenue expenditure, question number 4A subsidiary book, and question number 4B rectification of errors. I hope you understand to the maximum possible extent. Stay tuned, stay updated for further such videos and for revision of concepts. Thank you.